Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has moved to expel the ambassadors from 10 Western nations, including Germany and the United States. An escalating diplomatic row centers around philanthropist Osman Kavala. He's been in jail for 4 years on charges relating to a failed coup in 2016. Erdogan unleashed a sweeping crackdown after surviving the attempt. The diplomats have called for Kavala's release, and Erdogan has condemned their demands as indecent. So for more on this story, I'm now joined by DW correspondent Dorian Jones in Istanbul. Dorian, President Erdogan has declared 10 ambassadors persona non grata. How significant is this move?
Well, it's unprecedented. Turkey has never been in this position where the president of the country has been calling for the expulsion of 10 ambassadors. And these are countries that include some of the closest allies Turkey has: Germany, the United States, France, major players. And this is an unprecedented move. Now, it has to be said, President Erdogan has just said that they are persona non grata. Now, that means diplomatic talk. That is one step before their removal. They have to be formally notified of that, and then an expulsion date has to be given. None of this has happened as of yet, but it does appear that President Erdogan is on a collision course with these countries. He wants a major political and diplomatic showdown over what he says is the question of the independence of the judiciary and the interference of foreign powers in his own affairs. It is unclear how this will play out, but clearly Turkey is facing an unprecedented diplomatic crisis.
Now, as we've mentioned, much of this centers on the figure of Osman Kavala. Why does he appear to be such a threat to Erdogan's government?
Well, Osman Kavala is really one of the most important men in terms of developing civic society in Turkey. Over decades, he's used his considerable wealth to develop civic society, non-governmental organizations. In many ways, he's really been a key player in the democratization of Turkey after the coup in 1980. But for Erdogan, he sees this man as using this wealth and network of NGOs to unseat him, to be involved in the failed coup attempt, in the civic unrest against his government several years ago. That is staunchly denied, and in fact the European Court of Human Rights has ruled against Turkey, saying his detention is politically motivated, and the ambassadors in their statement only called for Turkey to observe the European Court's ruling. They made no other statement other than that. Now, in spite of that, Erdogan does appear to be wanting to have a showdown, and critics are saying this could be an attempt to divert the public's attention from the growing diplomatic, economic and political woes that President Erdogan is facing, and that the fact that he is facing record low support in opinion polls.
And just briefly, Dorian, aside from that statement by those ambassadors, have we seen further reaction from the Western nations whose ambassadors are being expelled?
Well, no, not as yet. And I think that they've been very careful not to get involved in what they see as a possible attempt by Erdogan to draw them into Turkish politics. It is expected that possibly Erdogan is preparing to call early elections on the basis of who runs his country. He has done that in the past. The president, all the ambassadors have just made this statement and have not made any comments. Erdogan has earlier in the week made similar threats, and there have been no reaction as of yet. I am thinking they are waiting to see if they get a formal notification of expulsion. If that was to occur, then Turkey would be in an unprecedented situation with its key Western allies.
Dorian Jones for us in Istanbul. Thank you, as always.